O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who killed the prophets and stoned those sent to you, how often I have longed to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. Once a prophet loved a place, prayed over it, then he spoke, "Oh, you beautiful planet," and then his great heart broke. How many prophets have come to you with all the wisdom they've got, and you break them if they're perfect, or cancel them if they're not. You hit the wise and steadfast, you hit them and hit them again. Out of the depths I cry to God, forgive these foolish men. Extract, produce, consume, then throw it on a heap. Cut down the trees and loose the plague, no wonder you can't sleep. Magical thinking won't cut it. Accusatory won't win. We need honest working together if we want to breathe again. In the midst of a raging virus, what value could there be in concerning ourselves with a story of ancient history? Are we promised there'll be a clear answer, one way to God's great plan? Or are we invited to look and see, am I that woman or man? Jacob had 12 sons. One he raised above the rest. At the tender age of 17, Joseph dreamed he was the best. Decked in a coat of colors, he swaggered a bit, it's true, told tales on his brothers, paraded his dreams. Untroubled, he hadn't a clue. He told the truth as he saw it, was sure they'd agree it was God's aim, that one of these days he would save them with the aid of his wisdom and fame. But the future did not interest them. His predictions stuck in their craw. They hated their favored brother. Today was all they saw. They saw he made them jealous. They didn't like him one bit. One day they had a bellyful and threw him in a pit. When brotherly love has let you down, and rage has won the day, and then they hide their sin. Has evil had its way? And evil is not finished. When the promised land turns sour and plague has gripped the whole wide world, what can save us from this hour? We're not very wise, it's true. We don't do the good we could. We storm and we blame and we waste and we maim. Could any of this work for good? Could there be new life for planet Earth? Could God place his hand on our wound? Could there be forgiveness and living amends? I guess we'll have to stay tuned.
I wonder how the old folks are at home, and I wonder if they miss me when I'm gone. I wonder if they pray for the boy who went away and left his dear old parents all alone. I can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. I can almost see those fields of bluegrass green. I can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at with love to shield you from all harm. A sweetheart brave and true, and the place we love so dear, just a village and a homestead on the farm. I can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. I can almost see those fields of bluegrass green. I can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at home. I wonder how the old folks are at home. And I wonder if they miss me when I'm gone. I wonder if they pray for the boy who went away and left his dear old parents all alone. I can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. I can almost see those fields of bluegrass green. I can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at home.
And his brothers went to graze their father's flock at Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "You know, your brothers are pasturing at Shechem. Come, let me send you to them." And he said to him, "Here I am." And he said to Joseph, "Go, pray, to see how your brothers fare, and how the flock fares, and bring me back word." And he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him, and look, he was wandering in the field, and the man asked him, saying, "What is it you seek?" And he said, "My brothers I seek. Tell me, pray, where are they pasturing?" And the man said, "They have journeyed on from here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" And Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. And they saw him from afar before he drew near them. And they plotted against him to put him to death. And they said to each other, "Here comes that dream master. And so now let us kill him and fling him into one of the pits. And we can say, 'A vicious beast has devoured him.' And we shall see what will come of his dreams." And Reuben heard and came to his rescue and said, "We must not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood. Fling him into this pit in the wilderness, and do not raise a hand against him," that Reuben might rescue him from their hands, to bring him back to his father. And it happened when Joseph came to his brothers that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the ornamented tunic that he had on him, and they took him and flung him into the pit. And the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread. And they raised their eyes and saw, and look, a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead, their camels bearing gum and balm and laudanum, on their way to take down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What gain is there if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and our hand will not be against him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers agreed. And Midianite merchantmen passed by and pulled Joseph up out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph to Egypt. And Reuben came back to the pit, and look, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his garments, and he came back to his brothers, and he said, "The boy is gone, and where can I turn?" And they took Joseph's tunic and slaughtered a kid goat and dipped the tunic in the blood. And they sent the ornamented tunic and had it brought to their father. And they said, "This we found." Recognize, pray, is it your son's tunic or not? And he recognized it, and he said, it is my son's tunic. A vicious beast has devoured him. Joseph is torn to shreds. And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth round his waist and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose to console him, and he refused to be consoled. And he said, rather, I will go down to my son in Sheol, mourning. And his father keened for him. But the Midianites had sold him into Egypt, to Potiphar, Pharaoh's courtier, the high chamberlain.
Don't try to cross that river that you cannot see. Don't try to tunnel through that mountain that may not be. Don't try to bear that burden that would bring you sorrow. Just let tomorrow be until tomorrow. For by tomorrow all the fears may up and just slip away. And you know, all the clouds of darkness may somehow just turn to day. And for all the troubles you have feared, you'll find somehow there's grace to borrow. So why not just let tomorrow be until tomorrow? Yes, by tomorrow all those fears may up and slip away. All those clouds of darkness may turn today. For all the troubles you have feared, you will find there's grace to borrow. So let tomorrow be until tomorrow.
Genesis, Book of Beginnings. We're almost through the story of how God works with a motley crew to somehow work God's glory. Joseph, bar Jacob's, been brought very low, his dreams of glory all gone. But next week we'll find him at Pharaoh's right hand. And when he looks east toward the dawn, perhaps a dream of the family he loves, in spite of being betrayed. Perhaps he knows they'll be coming to call, and then they will be afraid. The fear of the Lord is where wisdom begins. They'll be shaking in their shoes, and he will regard their helpless estate and decide if they've paid their dues. So come back next week to wrap up the tale. I hope it's bringing a smile. If some of the characters make you mad, you could walk in their shoes a mile. We're not very wise, it's true. We don't do the good we could. We storm and we blame, and we waste and we maim. Could any of this work for good? Could there be new life for planet Earth? Could God place his hand on our wound? Could there be forgiveness and living amends? I guess we'll have to stay tuned.